In this video, we're given the value of cosine of theta, which is -4/9, and we need to find the value of cosecant of theta. So what do we know from our given? Well, cosine of theta is x over r. So our x has to be equal to -4, and our r has to be a 9. Now we want to find the cosecant of theta. So cosecant of theta, that formula I believe is r over y. So we've got our r value, which is right here. We need to find our y value. So let's use our formula of r equals x squared plus y squared. Take the square root of that. Let's use this formula to get our missing y value. So I'm going to say our r is 9, which equals x squared, that's going to be -4 squared. Oops, I don't want to do that. And then we want to add y squared and take the square root of all that. So the first thing you want to do to solve for y here is undo this big old radical there. So say if we had this in parentheses, we want to square it, which means we also want to square this left side. So now we're left with 9 squared, which is 81 on the left side, and then -4 squared, that's going to be 16 plus y squared. Remember that this squaring gets rid of the radical up here. So now let's get rid of 16. So we want to subtract that from both sides. Okay, that's going to give us a 65 on the left side over here. And then we're just left with the y squared. We want to undo this squaring, so you take the square root of that side as well as this side. So now we're left with the square root of 65 equaling ry. So can we break down the square root of 65? Well, there's no perfect square that divides evenly into it, so there's no way that we could break it down. So let's just keep this for our y. Now I want to fill in what we know. So cosecant of theta is equal to r, which we know is 9, and then that's divided by our y, which is the square root of 65. Okay, so that's how we set it up, but we want to get rid of the radical in the denominator. So let's multiply the bottom part by the square root of 65, which means we also have to multiply the top part by the square root of 65. So we've got 9 times the square root of 65 on top, and then the square root of 65 times the square root of 65. We're going to canceling out the radical there, so we're just left with a 65 in the denominator. And there's no way that we could reduce that at all, so our final answer is going to be 9 times the square root of 65 over 65. That's our value for cosecant of theta, given cosine of theta equaling -4/9. So that's that.